So, hey guys, Chauzu here. As you can see, I'm still at 150 nav levels. I'm recording this around an hour before the trash map ends. And I'm still top 400, so it looks like I will make it, but I'm still going to pay attention until the end if I have to defend it somehow. But it looks like I did the right decision in the amount of effort to put in. But yeah, in this video I thought I'd talk a bit about my personal pros and cons regarding this treasure map. So let's just jump into it and we can talk while playing a bit. Not sure if I'll even finish this nav level, but a bit easier to talk while playing, I think. So let's start with the positives, so we can leave the negativity for later, but the biggest positive of them all, of course, is when you press the navigation button, the screen loads, and after that you just move very fast. We didn't really see it properly there. So the speed of general movement is a lot faster, which helps make every nav level faster, which means less time spent doing a run. So that's the biggest positive. That's a great change. Another great change is how much points you can accumulate, especially if you try and aim for every bird on the map. Basically, I don't have the highest boost myself. Like, I don't have any team over 10 times boost, but I was able to get to 15 million points in around 40 runs. So that's a big improvement from before, where you have to do more rounds for less than 50 million. So yeah, like no matter what you aim for, you will have to do less runs. So that's great for more casual players who don't want to play a lot. But still, in the end, like, trash map gives a lot of valuable drops and such, like liver brick materials, for example. So it's good to try and play every month, and I think 50 million will be a good new baseline for everybody to try and go for, in order to like survive for the coming month with being able to limit break all your units and such. Maybe even do one limit break expansion if you manage to get a gold key sometime. But yeah, that's the positives, and now let's talk about the numerous negatives. One thing, a big focus here will be on the cards, but like, I talked a bit about this a bit before on stream, like for example, now I press the 3 card, but it always defaults to the first card. Like, this makes no sense. Like, why make it possible to touch any card, but it always defaults to the first card? Like, that's insane. Another big negative, of course, is the massive amount of RNG with cards, and like, it's obvious that they want to encourage pooling to reduce this RNG, but this RNG still exists, and the RNG comes in so many forms. First, we just have the fact, like, what card do you even get when you reach a card? Like here, for example, the steering wheel is the by far most common, and the most common by far is 25%. I guess if you have every booster, it goes up to like 50%, still a lot of RNG. But like, it's so hard to get other cards, and the most impactful one for competition is of course the nav level skip card, and I guess we'll talk a bit more about it. Another thing I dislike with this system is that it's so hard, it's so much effort to discard a card. Like, the only way to discard a card without using it is picking up a new card. Maybe we can try and find a card. Is there anything left? Only one possible card to do, and it's behind like Ruben Beckman. Don't feel like fighting them. But if you pick up a card, you have to then choose a card to discard, and like this menu too, like now I finally learned how to go through it fast, but like I tried swiping, like if you're like, now I'm pressing like exactly around the arrow on the right, and it's super precise. Like, there's no reason for it to be this precise, to have this accuracy, and for swiping to be so bad. Like, you have to swipe incredibly precise too. Like, this whole menu is such a shit show to me. And we also had the problem, of course, that you always have to start at the beginning. And if you want to throw away the card you pick up and you want to save the other cards, you always have to go to the right. And it's such a bother, such a poorly designed system overall. Obviously, you can have 4 cards if you pull the new highest booster, which I presume is what Bandai will do, but I don't think that helps that much. So, yeah. Back to the RNG, like 25% chance cards, like they proc so rarely. Now I got a lucky one just because of that, so we take those, I guess. But it also means that, like, if you get a lot of luck with low proc cards, that changes it a lot for you. Let's focus a bit on the competitive aspect with nav skip cards. First, I will say that using the nav skip cards does not get you closer to bonus maps, which in my opinion is a big mistake, because that will have made nav skip cards good for everybody to get closer to bonus maps. But now it's instead like, it doesn't really have any pros at all, I'd say. Like, if you're just going for 50 million, for example, nav skip cards will not influence it that much. Like, points don't change in such a small numbers that we're talking about here in the beginning when doing runs. But basically, nav card is mainly for ranking high, and that means that they are super important for ranking high, since everybody will try and get them. And what you can get will vary greatly. Like, first, do you even get nav cards from the cards? As we've seen already here this run, it's pretty hard to get those cards. And even if you get them, they might have a low percent. And even if they have a low percent, they also might not increase the nav that much. Like, there's so many RNG factors to this. Like, I uploaded a short where I got 8 nav level increases in one special map. I don't think many have been able to get that, and that's such a huge game changer. And it's pretty realistic to get nav increase every bonus or special map if you get good luck in the maps, because on the maps you also have to prepare for the bonus maps by picking up good cards. You want +5 and +2 mainly if you aim for cards, and then those cards have to proc. And if they proc, the gold card has to be good that you get on bonus and special maps. Like, it's just layer on layer on layer on layer on layer of RNG, and it's really no benefit on all. It just opens up for people who maybe play a lot worse to be able to rank a lot higher just from getting better luck. And I don't think that's particularly good from an RNG aspect. But yeah, personally, I feel like I've learned now how to make best use of cards. Like, I've not talked about 2 cards in this video. First, we have the Sea Monster card, whatever it's called, when you get more points. I've literally not got a single one. And I'm pretty okay with that, because I think it's not that great from what I've seen. And other than that, we also have the boss killing card, and that's also something that can speed up. But I don't think it's a big strat people use. Like, the main strat involves around getting movement cards and nav skip cards, and boss killing cards is more like, if you get them, you just use them right away to see if you get lucky. And like, sure, you skip a boss, then it speeds up a bit, but skipping a boss is not as impactful as skipping all bosses in one map or potentially many maps. So they are not really that impactful, just something to keep in mind. Most of the way I just throw them away unless I don't have good movement cards. So yeah, I know that some people who have all boosters have enjoyed it a bit more, since like they have better rates on their cards since they get boosted. So I guess it can be a bit more fun there, but even then I really don't see the cards adding any real benefit at all, which is a big shame since it was the biggest part of this update. But from a personal standpoint, who might not be good enough to get rank 1 legit in Trash Map anymore, like learning how to optimize these cards, like I spent doing, like, I just need to get lucky now, and it gives me a bigger fighting chance. But yeah, this is also going to increase like the copium among rankers. Like, This month, like the number one is playing so much more than the rest, so not a big problem there, but there's going to be legit cases when luck decides this, and it really hasn't been the case in ranking modes in general in One Piece Treasure Cruise, so I think it's a big shame, but thankfully this is also a minor aspect of OPTC. Like, most people will be happy getting like 3 million or 50 million, and in that aspect cards will just have basically no benefit at all. Like, maybe you can get a lucky roll with a +5 or something to land a rainbow chest or something, but that's basically the extent of it. But yeah, that's my take on the trash map changes so far. I guess I sound a bit negative, but like, the biggest change here is the buff to speed, and that's an incredible good change. So on the whole, I'm pretty okay. I think I'll have to experience it a bit more. I also have to experience it actually having all boosters, even if I think it shouldn't be, of course, you shouldn't have to pull for the new feature to be good, but it might be what it is. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.